It's 5 p.m. We'll call our meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. Before we get started, will you please stand and join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Looks like we have one item to add to our agenda. It's informational. It's a letter from Excel Energy. We'll add that as 7A under correspondence. I'll have that in front of you. Is there any other additions to the agenda? All right. Hearing none, the motion is in order.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to approve the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second that with the addition of the correspondence piece.
A motion to a second with the addition of the correspondence. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, at this time, we'll open the meeting to public comment. Those wishing to speak must state their name and address for the record after they're acknowledged by the board chair. Each person will be limited to 2 minutes to make his or her remarks. Speakers will address all comments to the board as a whole and not one individual commissioner. The board may not take action on an item presented during the public comment period unless the item is already on the agenda for action. When appropriate, the board may refer inquiries and items brought up during the public comment period to the county administrator for follow-up. And just a reminder, if you're here for public comment, we ask that you step to the podium so that you can be heard. So with that, who would like to be heard first?
Melissa Zimmerman, 2525 Stony Creek Drive. I stand before you today with a heavy heart, reflecting on recent tragedies that have struck our community again. In the last 2 weeks, another child was hit by a vehicle. A cherished businesswoman died in a car accident. A fatal motorcycle crash claimed another life. Tragedies on our roads affect us all. Lives lost, families shattered, and dreams cut short, all due to preventable accidents on our roads. Safety must be a top priority with all roads, not just the East Side Corridor. We cannot continue to prioritize convenience and speed over humans' lives. It is imperative that we focus on commitment and commit ourselves to measures that will safeguard the lives of all who travel on and alongside the roads, today and in the future. I urge you to consider the following actions. First and foremost, we must prioritize safety over speed. Convenience is important, but it should never come at the expense of human lives. Lower speeds and stricter enforcement of traffic laws, particularly in high-risk and heavily traveled areas, will serve as a deterrent to send a clear message that safety violations will not be tolerated. Secondly, we must invest in improvements in our existing infrastructure. Better signage, improved lighting, and enhanced pedestrian crossings are essential for increasing visibility and reducing the risk of accidents. While roads are designed to meet safety standards, it's crucial to ensure the safety of everyone near them. Thirdly, we must engage our community in a dialogue and education initiatives in multiple languages. Road safety is a shared responsibility, and it's important to empower individuals with the knowledge and awareness they need to make safe choices on our roads, especially regarding distracted driving and yielding to pedestrians and cyclists. Finally, by collaborating with various entities as a unified voice, we can develop comprehensive road safety strategies that tackle the distinct challenges confronting our community, such as facilitating and promoting safe alternative forms of transportation, thereby reducing the number of vehicles on the road. Now is the time for action. Let's not wait for another tragedy to strike before taking significant steps to protect our community. I urge you to work with the city and prioritize safety. Please remain steadfast in your commitment to constructing safer roadways for both current and future road users. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment?
Hi, my name is Gail Jorgensen. I live at 249 East Main Street over the corner of Main and Grove. I'm kind of a transplant here. Sorry if I get a little terse. I'm having a high pain day. Back in December of 2000, I was crossing the street up in Minneapolis on Lindale in a crosswalk with the light, and a young gal who just celebrated her 21st birthday ran into me, hit me in the knees. Stopped, backed up, as I turned to her to cuss her out, and revved up the engine, hit me again, and I was on the hood of the car. Then she accelerated, took off. I was lucky that somebody stopped to render aid, and I asked them to follow her and get her license plate. Otherwise, I would never know, this person's name. And this accident has affected me this entire 25 years. And I'm speaking here because I can speak. This little 2-year-old isn't verbal yet. She hasn't learned to walk. I got to learn to walk again. It affected my ability to work. It affected my new marriage, which ended in a divorce. Because, quite frankly, I was a bitch, with that kind of pain. I had surgeries on my knees I'll be looking at more. The little bit you get from car insurance isn't going to cover that entire lifetime. It led to a period of my time in my life where I was impoverished and had to work myself real hard to get out of that. And part of that was a gift from my folks that I need to be a steward of. And so these little ones who are getting hurt, they can't speak yet. You might not see them grow up. That little one has a brain bleed and a serious concussion. That's going to affect her cognitive abilities. That's going to stress the school system that there's one more child that they have to give more care to in a classroom that's already crowded. That child, like me, will know when a storm is coming, that's for sure. But that's going to affect her whole life. And this 9-year-old boy, there was a man who was hit last winter, and on and on. And so I'm asking you to use your wisdom, your common sense, as you're working on redoing the road system here along with our city officials, not to believe always what the consultants say. Sometimes it seems like they're marketing. And the experts might only have a narrow field of vision. You were given common sense. People elected you because of this. Please don't be afraid to use it. I was fortunate to grow up in McMullen, Wisconsin, and Highway 167 has a very low speed limit, and that's kind of, we would joke about it in high school, but it probably saved a lot of lives, because it's only at 20, 25, and the police will pull you over, you'll get a ticket, so we'll know. And maybe we need to really seriously look at speed limits and enforce them. So again, I thank you very much for listening to me. I thank you for being here. And do what you can for us. Thanks.
Thank you, Gail. Any other public comment?
Good evening, Matt Sennett, 2519 Stony Creek Drive. Also commenting on the East Side Corridor project, much like Lissa got up to talk about a few minutes ago. A project of this magnitude here in Steele County and Owatonna is unprecedented, as you know, in being the preferred route initially stated as being close to this neighborhood of 150 homes on the east side of town. So this drone shot here, this drone footage will show that in this greenway here is where they want to put the highway, where the county wants to put the highway in the city. And you have all of this space out here, which you might initially say, well, that's farmland, but if you look at the comprehensive 2050 plan that the city of Owatonna is wanting to put into place, all of this here in this field with this brown here is already going to be zoned as high-density residential. So it seems like upgrading what was supposed to be a local 30-mile-an-hour road there on the edge of the neighborhood to 45, 55 miles an hour is just unprecedented. It's never been done before, and that's because it's unsafe. Matter of fact, the current studies being done on the road don't take anything into consideration with regard to resident safety, child safety, vulnerable adults in the neighborhood, their safety. As a matter of fact, on the county's website, it says traffic and safety section here. If you read through that, there's a very little small section at the very bottom of that, which seems to get to safety, but what it's talking about is road safety. Road safety applies to users of the road. That's people driving on the road, that's people biking on the road, that's people perhaps motorists is basically what that is on the road. The road's slanted like it's supposed to be to shed water. All of those are what is referred to as road safety, not a single portion of the study that's being done that costs over $250,000 has anything to do with resident safety. And so really, it's what Gail said earlier, that's where we're really relying on you to make good judgment calls, vote on behalf of your constituents and keep their safety in mind, and we appreciate and advance your attention to that. Thank you.
I'm going to pass these out. I'm Dale Harlow, 2472 Austin Road, County Road 6. In regards to that party that I gave you last fall, has there anything been done to that, for that yet? What I handed you last fall for, has there anything been done?
It was forwarded to Teely.
Huh?
It was forwarded to the sheriff. You remember Mr. Sheriff? Letter.
Well, that goes to show you what the county has tried to do with their flashing lights to the people that could see something. The same thing is on the south end of our little district. There's no flashing lights anyplace. The sign that says no access to Highway 14 West, about 80% of the new people and that go out of there, nobody even knows that, so they go by our place, go see that they can't go west, they turn around at the cul-de-sac up there and come back mad, 50, 60 miles an hour. I don't know what Mr. Thiele has told you people, but it's pretty hard to stop any traffic at 10 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon and 8:45 at night when there's hardly any traffic. So that's what I'm here for, trying to get something done.
Thank you, Dale.
Thanks, Dale.
Any other public comment?
I forgot one small but big thing. You're gonna make me walk today, huh? And that it's out of sheer stubbornness that I never used opiates. I take a hellacious amount of over-the-counter meds, and because of that I've developed an ulcer. But when people have chronic pain, they tend to take opiates. A lot of the fentanyl addicts have, and oxycodone addicts have chronic pain issues. So too, by reducing speed limits, by paying attention to how roads are constructed now, that's also going to help in the long run, which issues that everybody has, but especially in this country with fentanyl, opiates, addictions, homelessness. So keep that in mind too.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Okay. Hearing none, we'll close the meeting to public comment. Brings us some correspondence in your packet.